and Jessica. How are you guys this morning?
Good morning. Good morning.
Thank you guys for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for inviting us.
A lot of exciting stuff to talk about today. So let's just get started. Why don't you just take turns, tell me a little bit about yourself, how you ended up in EXP, and then we'll go to the fun and exciting adventures that you have in store for you coming up.
Go ahead, Jessica, take it away.
Okay, I'm Jessica Tamaro, and I got into real estate as a metro teacher to help women buy their first homes after I learned about house hacking, and quickly just grew. My real estate business just blew up, both personally as an investor and with clients. So sold 42 houses my third year in real estate, and then that's just continued to grow. Personally owned 10 homes after having to work 5 jobs at once to buy my first one. So really crazy life. All of the things with real estate. So I love real estate. It's part of who I am now, just like teaching was part of who I was. And I love to teach others about investing, house hacking, short-term rentals, all things real estate. And I'm excited to be on the show.
Awesome.
All right, Sena.
I want to learn about house hacking.
I know, right?
She's coming to our house next week and is going to give a lunch and learn. And so we're excited to have Jessica here. So I've been in the business. I'm Ann Sena. I've been in the business over 30 years. My father was a commercial broker in New York, had a small boutique brokerage, about 5 agents. Then I moved to Nashville about 16 years ago, and I was on a team, the DeSelms team. Terry DeSelms taught me everything I needed to know about the South. Doing business in the South was very challenging for me. Everyone thought I was yelling at them and screaming at them, and so I had to learn the ways of Southern real estate. And I was on that team for a while and then started my own team at Remax. And I came into EXP 4 years ago, and it was a business model that, like they say, once you see it, you can't unsee it. And so it was a business decision that I had to make for me and my family. I was tired of the hamster wheel and constantly replenishing agents and trying to replace them. And my income every year would fluctuate because I would lose agents, to other companies. And with this business model, there's no reason. I mean, we do lose some agents, of course, but everyone makes money. It's not just the broker. It's not just the team leader. It's a fair playing ground, and it's a partnership. It's not really a team. And so the model just makes more sense for longevity. And so I don't have to reinvent the wheel every year, and I can achieve my goals a lot quicker. So I'm so grateful to Jay Nelson and just to the model that has come out and changed our life forever, the way we get paid. So it's amazing.
Love that. So what tools does EXP offer that helps you to grow your business and help you, maintain? I know you both have a very busy calendar and you both are running and meeting yourself coming and going. What does EXP offer you that helps you be able to manage that and keep life at a balance?
I'll speak on that. So I was at a small brokerage before, and I did my first deal with Jay Nelson ever, and didn't come over to EXP then, but a year later did a deal with Kathy Carter, who was also with Jay. So, and that's when I joined. But the tools that helped me the most is I was with a smaller brokerage. And one of the things that I like about EXP is everybody's equal. At the other brokerage, I really, truly believe in my heart that men have better splits than women. And I loved that with EXP that we were all treated equally. I love that so much. It doesn't matter how many houses you sell, everybody's treated the same when they come on. And the tools that I love is that our email always works because we're tied in with Gmail. Our inner office is through Workplace, so I love that. I love the trainings during COVID. I dove into those trainings, and the next month I sold 8 houses. So I am a true believer that if you really apply what's provided to you, there was knowledge in those classes during COVID that nobody else had in Nashville. One of the speakers in the EXP world had helped write the CARES Act the day before. And then they come into the EXP world and they're sharing that with us. And we had, at that time, about 10 short-term rental properties, and Airbnb refunded everybody's money overnight. We made a list. We sold my husband's car. We were going to have to sell houses. And because of the training that EXP offered, we were able to apply for things and get a grant immediately. Well, it was a loan. We got the EIDL loan immediately, $115,000 that got us through that time. And then I sold 8 houses that next month. So we went from selling my husband's car the second week of March to paying my student loans off in full in July, because of the training that I got with EXP, and no one had that knowledge. There was nobody teaching classes the day after the CARES Act was written in Nashville. So those types of things just change our lives. And then just little tips and things, the phone calls with Jay Nelson and the suggestions, we did all of those things, little things, big things. Somebody had said that they were dropping off sidewalk chalk to the neighbors, and we did that. We got in the car and dropped off little baggies of sidewalk chalk to like 200 people that we knew, and they were drawing pictures, and all of those little things I think kept all of us, interconnected during COVID when nobody else was doing everybody was just bored and everybody dove into social media. So if you were a little bit ahead of it, and I feel like we were a lot ahead of it. So we ended up having a phenomenal year that year, and then we've just continued to grow since.
I love that. And do you have anything to add?
I mean, honestly, that is it for me as well. Our Tuesday trainings with Jay are amazing. I never miss them. And I love, he always goes after the hurting. Okay, who's hurting? It's easy. Like when we were at other companies, we had our, group meetings or team meetings, and it was like, who sold the most houses, who got the award, who's on the leaderboard. And, of course there is some of that here, but Jay's heart is to who's struggling right now, who needs to sell more houses. And so they really go after, because we're all connected and we're all kind of connected financially with the stock and the collaboration, we want to help each other so much. And it's not like a bragging thing. I remember I used to go to those meetings on Wednesday, and I used to feel horrible, because unless I was like, I don't want to say any names, but the big players out there, you couldn't even, you had to go to some small, you couldn't even make the leaderboard because you weren't, a conglomerate team that had 400 agents, So, and then the broker, I mean, look at you, Carmen, you're a broker, state broker, and everyone is so accessible. I don't have to wait. I can go on Workplace. We get our questions answered. And it's just the training and collaboration is I would say that's just a big tool. And last night I was on the phone with Jay, and he's like, hey, come down to Puerto Rico and, bring your family. Like, who does that? What company, I don't care. I've been in a lot of different, they don't invite you to their home and say, hey, come stay with me. And, let's learn and bring your team down. Like, that's quite an invitation. So anyway, it's just it's a family, and it's an amazing experience.
I feel like one of the common themes that comes up, I guess it's the 5th interview I've done here since being in Tennessee, is the collaboration. Like, I feel like that's just a running theme through all, that's what everyone has to say, because our business model kind of takes the competition out and puts the collaboration in. Would y'all agree with that?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yep. We're no longer competitors. Now we're combining in this one force, and there's just one big ball of fire, and it's amazing.
Right. No, I agree. I think that, in this model, if one of us wins, we all win.
We all win. Exactly.
So, okay, so let's talk a little bit about what you guys have coming up, because that's really what I wanted to support you guys on today. Who wants to introduce what's coming up and how you guys got involved in it?
I'll let you do that, Ann.
Well, I'm like super terrified. I just kind of throw myself out there. I mean, we got the text and invitation to come down and interview in Nashville and talk to I guess it was the owner and
CEO.
the CEO, yeah, of the company. He was amazing. And they just
Company.
tell you,
Background, which company is it and what? So everybody knows what you're talking about.
oh, it's the American Dream Show. And gosh, I should know more information about them, huh? Jessica?
No, not necessarily.
American Dream TV, they're an Emmy-nominated lifestyle show, and local experts get nominated to be the host of the show. So Anne and I have both been nominated to be a host of the show, and we get to create our own content and highlight our communities. And then we also get to highlight listings that we have. So one per episode.
Yep. 80% they want lifestyle, 20% real estate, and to combine the two, and really just to kind of show off why live in Nashville, what are some of the highlights in Nashville and the culture as well. So I was really excited about it. I'm terrified, just as you could see. I'm like, I don't even know what's happening, but I feel like I just need to throw myself in there and see how it goes, and hopefully there'll be a second show, maybe. Maybe not.
So what are you most excited about showcasing about the community and about the areas that you live in?
So for me, it's going to be a whole New York and Nashville theme. Italian culture. We started the Nashville Italian, oh gosh, I was supposed to memorize Nashville Italian Cultural Club. And we started that with a group of us, a bunch of realtors, a couple of months ago. And we went from like 10 members to 88 members, like just instantly. We had one event. And it's kind of like I don't want to say a cheap wedding, but like a cheap Italian wedding with the accordions going, And so that was one event we have. And I'm going to be featuring Dami Vino, which is a friend of mine who does all kind of Italian wines and imports olive oil from Italy. And she does very high-end events. And then we're going to showcase a very beautiful home. And so I'm very excited to be able to show that culture, because for me, that was a big part that was missing. I don't know many Italians in Nashville, and if you do, you're like, it's like kind of, so I'm excited to get to do that. I think it'll be fun, and hopefully, we can just show people that, Nashville does have culture. I mean, of course it does now, but when I first moved here 16 years ago, I was kind of a fish out of water. So anyway, I'm excited to get to show off the NICC.
Awesome. What about you, Jessica?
So I am the first episode we're going to actually do in Woodbury, which is a really small town outside of Nashville. And we're going to feature Short Mountain, which is Middle Tennessee's tallest mountain. And there's a distillery there. So we're going to go through the history of distilled spirits in Tennessee. We're probably going to touch on Prohibition, and they're going to take us through. They don't even know yet, but I'm sure that they will, because I know the owner. So the cat's out of the bag, but we're going to go interview. Surprise. We're going to go interview with them, and then hopefully also do some shots of the downtown Woodbury area. It's really beautiful there. It's a small downtown with it's got a vibrant lifestyle with the different shops and everything. Culture, not so much as East Nashville, which is what I hope to feature in the future. But the Woodbury, I have a listing there that overlooks thousands of acres of state land, almost like living in a state park. So that's kind of driving my passion to learn more and share more about the Woodbury and Short Mountain areas. There's also a drive-in movie theater, which I think is kind of fun.
That is very small.
I think the hardest part about being on the Dream TV show is to pick exactly. I mean, there's so much that you would want to showcase. There's so many small mom and pop shops, and little crevices of Nashville, like East Nashville, the Gulch, and what is so fun is we get to go behind the scenes into the kitchens and, to really see, how this came about, like why are people coming to this restaurant? Why are people, wanting to be in this high rise? So, but it's hard to pick, you only get, it's only 5 minutes that it's all this preparation for 5 minutes of airtime.
Well, I think it's just super cool that we have 2 EXP agents that are going to be doing this.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
And we also get to produce it. So while it's a lot of work for us, it also gives us a lot of freedom. So we schedule the film crew and we schedule, we talk to the businesses and find out, do you want releases? Do you not want releases? Do you want us to come in when they're, when you're closed? All of those things. So it gives us a lot of freedom to really make it authentic. It's not scripted. There's not outsiders coming into Nashville to tell us what to teach about the area.
Yeah, that also could be a little dangerous.
You need some oversight. Is that what you're saying?
I'm sure
we have all that freedom, but let's
someone to supervise
on speed dial for a little bit now.
That's hilarious. Well, I'm super excited for you guys, and I look forward to watching this journey and see how it plays out for you. And I know it's going to be great for you, as well as the areas that you highlight and for our brokerage. So I think it's just awesome.
Yeah, we're excited. I can't wait. And so thank you so much for having us today.
Oh, you're so welcome. And I would like to ask you one question before we get off here. And this is more geared towards real estate, not so much the show. But I feel like you each have a unique perspective just from talking to you today. So, Ann, I know that you moved here from New York. And I know when you make a move, trying to build a business, especially in real estate, when you don't know a lot of people, can be quite challenging. So, and sometimes, new agents or agents that have to move and start over really don't know what to do and how to do that. Would you speak a little bit to those people that maybe have found themselves in a situation where I don't know anybody, I'm new here, how am I going to do this?
Yeah, that was a big challenge. North meets the South. In New York, I had a business there. My husband owned a repair shop, construction company. We had a big sphere of influence. And here, it was like starting from scratch. So for me personally, the for sale by owner was my best friend. And that's, back then, we didn't have all the tools we have now. Craigslist, which, I don't even know what that's like now. That's probably the biggest scam thing on the planet, but they didn't, when I moved here 16 years ago, they didn't have, tools that could import and leads to you. So expireds, for sale by owners, cold calling, neighborhood, and door knocking was my saving grace, and that's really what got me to build relationships. And I did it very quickly, very fast, where I had to join, some club or network with people, that's a great way of doing it too. But I needed to make money today, very fast. So that would be my advice to somebody who just wants to, I'm always like plummet right in, get right in there. I don't know if there's water, but just dive in. You'll swim. I just had to
sink or swim, right? And that's kind of the position you found yourself in, it sounds like.
Yeah, I had to swim. So still swimming.
Yeah. And Jessica, you mentioned that you had worked 5 jobs before you, while you were working towards building your portfolio and et cetera. So I know we have a lot of agents that have full-time jobs, and so they're trying to build a business while they're at work all day. So, and I know that takes a lot of discipline and a lot of hard work. So what would you say to those people that have full-time jobs and are trying to figure out how to make this real estate thing work?
So I love that Ann and I are on here together because it's 2 opposite situations. So I say you don't quit your day job until you have to. So I kept teaching, and, luckily teachers, we would get off at 3. So on my lunch break, sometimes I could make a call. And then at 3:00, I was out showing, usually between 3 and 5, or calling agents back and doing all those things. So it was just me for a while. I got my real estate license in 2017, and then I met my husband later that year, and then we got married in 2019. So, for a while, it was just me, and then he ended up getting his license and helping to support. But I think with EXP, you have that support. So now I can help teachers that are getting their real estate license. We can split deals because we're not necessarily a team. We're all independent. So there are teams with EXP, but all of my people in my network, we're all independent. So we can share deals, and maybe it's a 50-50, maybe it's a 10-90, depending on things like that. So I just feel like you have to be supportive and you have to figure out what works for you. And then of course, summer's open door. Like, you can build up your summer and then go into fall and just slow down a little bit on purpose. So, just having that support was really huge. Now, I kept teaching until 2021, which was like too long. And I waited until EXP had health insurance. And because EXP had health insurance, that gave me the confidence to leave teaching. But I stayed in it even when I was selling 40 houses a year. I was still teaching, which is insane. I do not recommend that. That was way beyond keeping your day job until you have to. So somewhere in that balance, I think is great, but just rely on who you have and go ahead and go at it part-time and use it as not necessarily as a side hustle, but as you're building. And I have one girl on my team, she was working at a golf course and she said, I'm just telling my customers that I'm between clients right now. And I said, don't say that. Tell them you're out there looking for clients. I'm bartending because I'm a realtor and I'm looking for clients. I'm driving Uber because I'm a realtor and I'm looking for you. And just go in with that mindset and your business will build from there. But I was driving Uber and Lyft. I was working at a golf course on the weekend. I was teaching school, like all of those things. And then when I got my real estate license, I was still at the golf course on the weekends and I was still teaching school at first. And then I got so busy I couldn't. I started cutting things back.
So would you say that the people that you came in contact at your day job helped propel your real estate business?
Absolutely, 100%. And I'm really excited for young kids that are in college and high school. And I tell them, get your real estate license now, go to college, because all of those people are going to buy houses. So keep doing that. You can be a realtor and be in college, and you're also building your clientele for life, because you're experiencing all these with you. So anything that you can do that puts you in front of people, you need to keep doing it. And any of your activities that you love, you need to keep doing those. We sell so many houses because we love certain things, like going to the lake and all of the different things that we do. We have a friends party every month, and it just keeps us all in front of people. And we're not even doing it with a purpose to get business, but being involved and authentically intertwined with people, our business has just compounded. And to me, it's all about trust. So if people come to your homes and people do things with you, they trust you and you're going to be their go-to.
I love that. Love that. Thank you both for sharing your wisdom with everybody today. And I don't want to keep y'all any longer. I know y'all got houses to go show and listings to go take, but is there anything that you want to leave us with? Any kind of final words that you want to send out to everybody?
If I could just say, I'm looking at Jessica, and all I could keep thinking of when we were in Orlando and by the pool, was it Orlando? And we were hanging out and we were just, I don't know Jessica very well, but, talking about that collaboration and, I just feel like I do know her. I feel connected with her because of our business and the way this business model is. It instantly connects us and makes us more powerful as women, as realtors. And I'm just so excited. So the only thing that I could say is, if you haven't looked at EXP, if you haven't, even if you don't want to come, even if you say, I love my broker, of course, I love my old, and I love my old broker. But if you don't want to come, look at the model, do it for your family. At least you owe yourself that, to look at the model, compare the numbers, compare what you're making now with what you could be making, and why not have fun? I was so burnt out working by myself and so stressed out. Here, I look at Jessica and all I can think of us is having a drink by the pool, and dancing and having so much fun. And yes, there is times of stress and trouble, but that's when we come together, and collaborate. And so I would just urge anyone who is looking at this, if you want to change your life, change your financial situation and have more fun, look at EXP.
Yes, there's so much that is unsaid that, I mean, I sold stock to buy my car, like all these things. And I have looked up to Anne because of the sales calls, right? Those Tuesday calls. And I was like, she's on here whenever I saw her on the mastermind or the American Dream, whatever they had.
Yeah.
Here's what you're supposed to do on the show, or whatever. Here's the parameters of the freedom that you have. And I was just like, I was so giddy inside because Anne's on here and we already had a meeting set up anyway. And also in Orlando, I left, didn't pay my bill.
You owe me a drink.
And I remember like 2 days later, I'm like, oh my gosh, I either walked out on the waitress or Anne covered my bill.
Yeah,
That's funny.
It's all good.
The collaboration is amazing. And it's like worldwide. So like, again, if we look at our brokerage that we had the small boutique brokerage here in Nashville. Our meetings were in Nashville. With EXP, your meetings are in Cabo. They're in Orlando. They're in Vegas. And just this morning, I was on the phone call. I had a lead from Cabo. A girl I met in Cabo gave me a lead, and we found the house yesterday. And I was calling her because she's an EXP agent, but also the buyer is an agent. So I'm like, how do I do this? And she's like, oh, just give it all to her because she's coming to EXP. So it's just a beautiful combination of, just this collaboration of, okay, well, I want you to know I'm not, I want you to get paid too, but there's like, it's just that would have never happened had I not been to Cabo. And every event I go to, I get leads from. So it's just fantastic.
Absolutely. And I listed 2 properties in Puerto Rico, and that's why I'm thinking about going back again. When we were down there for the convention, I met people, and the guy called me like a year later on a golf cart. He said, I don't really remember, I have a bad memory. And so he said, I have this property there. And so it's just so exciting. Like Jessica said, you go to Cabo, you go to Vegas, wherever you go, we're doing business together. We are, it is fun, but we're also making money and selling houses, and we're doing it together. And even with this American Dream show, like, it is so nerve wracking, and to know that Jessica is here with me, it's like, we could just like, okay, now we're collaborating together, even on the TV show. So, it's just awesome. So
I love it. Well, I think you guys have given a lot of help and support and wisdom to a lot of agents out there today. And I appreciate your time that you've spent with us this morning. And I will be watching the show. And hopefully when we get these filmed, we can get these uploaded as well and support you in that way. So hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you, Carmen. Love you. Have a great day, guys. See you, Jessica, next week.
Oh, yes. Bye-bye.